How's it gaming? I'm Fill in the Blanks, and welcome to Sonic 3D Blast. And if you've played Sonic 3D Blast, you probably don't remember it looking this good. Because this is the Sega Saturn version, not the Sega Genesis version. The Genesis version is the one that's mostly well known in North America, but in Europe and in Japan, this one is pretty much just as well known. I think in Japan it's actually the only version of the game to come out. But yeah, it was ported from the Sega Genesis to the Saturn because at the time, they didn't have a Sonic game for the Saturn. The original Sonic game, Sonic Extreme, fell completely through, so they gave the team that made 3D Blast a few weeks to port the game, and they did a phenomenal job. First of all, I mean, the Saturn is way more powerful than the Sega Genesis. Look how gorgeous this is. Beautiful amount of colors that the Genesis couldn't do. The resolution is great, too. And you have CD quality audio, which is great. Let's just jump in there. The gameplay is pretty much identical to the Genesis version. You can see you have a cool 3D menu, sound test, help. I don't need any help. Well, okay, yeah, I do. It's a whole different thing. Let's just jump in there. The only real problem with this version of the game is the load times, because the Saturn was a CD-based console, and the original 3D Blast was a cartridge for the Genesis. Man, I love that little map. That little map is not in the original game. We will talk about the differences, and we'll also see a little bit of the differences too. I'll end this episode with some footage of the Genesis version, but this is the Saturn version. First level, Green Grove. And oh, it looks so good. And I know it's not like fully 3D like what you'd expect from a game called Sonic 3D Blast, but man, pre-rendered was the thing back then. But they do have some 3D. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. That looks great. I've always been a big fan of 3D graphics with 2D spritage. Look at the water, too. That's also 3D. That's neat. So yes, this is an isometric pre-rendered 3D game because Mario RPG and Donkey Kong Country were the big thing, and Sega wanted something big to compete with them on the Sega Genesis to show that, hey, the Genesis isn't dead yet. Even though it was pretty much dying. The Sega CD was out, the Sega 32X was a thing, and the Saturn was about to come out. So yeah, after Sonic Extreme just was not gonna come into fruition, they got the guys who made this game to port it, and they did a great job. It plays pretty much identical to the original Genesis game, but the graphics are obviously a lot better. There's a lot more colors on screen at any one time, which is great. But plays identically, and that's kind of what you'd want for a port like that. You can do the spin dash if you want. Whee! And the whole point is to find Flickies, these little bird guys. They follow Sonic around a little bit. You can't see. I've got my shield going on right now. I think I'm missing one too. I only have one tailing me right now. Where'd you go, buddy? Did I not get him? I thought maybe I got him, but whatever. There he is. Didn't even see him. Yeah, so Flickies are an old staple with Sega games. They were an old arcade game, and they kind of made this the little focal point, which is really, really cute. But you're tasked with getting, it looks like 5 Flickies, and then you can exit this part of the level, basically. Other than that, it's pretty much a standard Sonic game with a little bit of exploration, which is really neat. And the music is actually completely different. If you've played this Genesis one, this is a brand new soundtrack. I personally like the Genesis version a little bit better, but I think this is actually still very good. You know, take your pick, I guess. It's like Sonic CD in that sense. Both soundtracks are really good in different ways. That's kind of how it goes with this. And that's all 5 of our Flickies. Once you find all 5 Flickies, you find this little area, and you can deposit them. Now you can deposit 1 or 2 or 3. You don't have to do all 5 at once, but you might as well just do that. Bam! And onto the next part of the level. Whee! And somewhere in each level, in each act, is Tails. Oh, and also, there's Tails and Knuckles. They're both hiding out. And when you find one with at least 50 rings, I think it's 50 rings, you'll get whisked off to a bonus level to get Chaos Emeralds, because of course you do. This is a Sonic game, after all. We will be trying to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds. There is no Super Sonic in this game, which is unfortunate, but I mean, the game's already sort of hard to control as it is, so you can kind of see. We will try to get that anyways. You can only get 1, actually I think, yeah, Tails is right here. This is actually where we began the game, so it's kind of funny how he's just kind of there. Talk to him. there goes 123 of my rings. And this is a big difference from the Genesis version. The Genesis version that kind of had like a Mode 7 looking thing, which I actually really like. But the Saturn version has basically the half pipe from Sonic 2, but in full 3D, and it looks awesome. Look how great this looks. This is the first taste of real 3D Sonic. And I've only played a little bit of the Saturn version. I definitely grew up with the Genesis version, and I have this game for the Saturn, and I figured, let's try it out. I've never really sat down and play it. So I've never gotten all the emeralds, so I don't know how hard this gets. I've only done the first one of this. But it looks just fantastic. I really like the way it looks. You can do the spin dash if you want to. I don't know if it makes you go faster, but it's not too difficult in the beginning, but it looks absolutely great. The PC version also has these, but the draw distance is really, really far, and it's really neat seeing like the big like tube of half pipes going through the course. It's just really cool. Yeah, no, I like it. It's pretty neat. 3D was the big thing. The PlayStation and the N64 were competing against each other, and Sega did not want to be left out. The Saturn was their way to do that. And we all know the Saturn didn't end up doing very well, which is a shame, because it's actually a really neat system that I really, really, really like. But it did not do very well, like at all. And this was... I wouldn't say this is one of the reasons why it didn't. One of the reasons why it didn't is because it didn't have a mainline Sonic game. They just completely failed at that. So this is kind of the consolation prize. Again, it's really good. If I grew up with a Saturn, I would definitely want this game. But it doesn't make up for the lack of an actual Sonic game. So, yay! Also, the Saturn was really hard to program for, I heard, because it uses quads instead of triangles. So it's basically 4-point polygons instead of 3-point polygons. And I guess it's really hard to work with 4-point compared to 3-point. But the Saturn was really good at 2D graphics. So a lot of its best games actually were 2D, using 3D to complement the game. And this is actually one of them, as you can obviously see. But yeah, no, they do really good stuff. In the next level, we see like environmental effects like rain and fog, and it looks great. So, I don't know. I think this is probably the better version of the game. I really like the 3D bonus levels, but I think the only problem is it really is the loading time, and it's a toss-up between what kind of soundtrack you're going to enjoy. So all our rings are gone. Oh. Okay. They just give you 125 rings again? Oh, I'm depositing more rings. Okay, well, anyways, if I go to Knuckles, with 50 rings, it'll bring me to the same bonus round I just did, and winning will only get you a life. So you can only get one. But basically, that means you have 2 chances to find either Tails or Knuckles per level. All enemies here are gone. This is the first area of the first level that we've already done. And now we are deposited into the secondary area. This level only... I got shot in the face. This level only has 2 little areas, so once I find the next few Flickies, I'm basically free to exit the level. The Flickies like to run away, and if you get hit, you do lose them, as you've seen. Damn, I gotta go a little slower. The blue ones, I believe, follow you. The red ones actually try to get away, I think. Jeez, damn it. Yeah, blue one kind of, actively goes towards me. Reds look like they do too. They just take a wider path. I think it's maybe green. I know there's like one version that doesn't deposit them. Doesn't really follow you or anything like that. But actually, I don't want to go down there. I want to go around. I'm gonna go down there a different way. I went the wrong way. And weirdly enough, this is actually not the only Sonic game in 3D isometric kind of view. There was one for the Game Gear called Sonic Labyrinth, and I've talked about it before a long time ago, and it is probably one of the worst Sonic games ever, and I love it. Oh, damn. You use Flickies to gain height on springs, too, so I just kind of ruined that. That's okay. I need to find the Flickies, man. Where are the Flickies at? Oh, invincibility. That's always nice. Definitely good to use. There we go. Come here, you. I knew. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Instead of heading back, we'll actually kind of keep going, because over here... I think Knuckles is over here. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Looks neat. Very 3D. I won't find Knuckles. I don't really care to find Knuckles and Tails in each level, as long as I find one of them and we get our Chaos Emerald. That's all that matters to me. There are 14 zones with 2 acts in each, plus a boss act. So basically I have 14 Did I say 14 zones? There's 7 zones, so 14 acts. 14 chances to get Chaos Emeralds. Actually, that's more than that, because if I fail one, then I can go to Tails or Knuckles, the other guy, and try again. So I get 2 chances per level, too, if I can find them. Anyways, we're going to make it. I don't doubt that, because we definitely want to get all Chaos Emeralds for the, 1, better ending, but 2, the final boss. So, don't know why it shows us again. We're in the same area. We're still in Green Grove. I guess this is like a loading screen. Weird island. It's like, here's the weird golden ring area it looked like. And Sonic, of course, takes the roundabout way around the island, doesn't go straight towards the gigantic robotic machine. Yeah, no, I was a big fan of isometric games when I was younger. I really liked the faux 3D-ness of it. I was a big fan of like RC Pro-Am and those type of like top-down isometric racers. I don't really know why. I guess it's just the closest thing to 3D at the time. And then the funny thing is when 3D came out, like Mario 64, I didn't like it at all. I really did not like Mario 64 at first. It really took a while for that to win me over. I'd actually like rent an N64 and play the game with a buddy in order for me to kind of, first of all, understand what they were trying to do with the game. Because when you play it like at a Walmart kiosk, you're not really getting what Mario 64 wants to do. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so unique. Especially for the time. Like, you youngins, you kids, like, you don't really get it. Now 3 is obviously everywhere, but back then, man, it was like, how do you even make a video game that's 3D? What do you do in a 3D video game? And it seems so obvious nowadays, but back then, like, we were still about platformers and mascots, like little silly mascots like Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario. And Crash Bandicoot really did a great job. It used that, like, kind of corridor-style 3D, but it really worked. Mario 64 was really that, like, first, like, oh my gosh, this is a fully 3D world, and it's incredibly well done. And then you had Bubsy 3D, which also existed. And it was terrible, obviously. It was also technically fully 3D, but it was really bad. Hello, Knuckles. Oh, I have enough. Knuckles, whisk me away, please. Cha-ching. Alright, so this is farther than I've ever gotten on the Saturn version, but that's okay. We'll do it. You guys know me. I'm amazing at video games. I've played them for a while now. I've played like 5 of them. Alright. What do we need? Fitty rings! Is this the same one? This looks like the same one. Can you only get 1 per zone? I don't know anymore. No, this is different. This is different. Woo, it's wobbly. Ah! Plus there's bombs. Okay, cool. Good to know. Really, I gotta keep my eye open. Jeez. Okay. I'm also old, so my ability to move fast is bad. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make this now. Oh, cool. Whoa, like that drop? That was neat. Oh, damn, I should have stayed on the ground there. Yeah, I'm not making this. That's okay. Learning the levels, man. Absolutely. Actually, I might. There's like one more thing. 3. Oh, there we go. Nice. Wow, okay. Even with all those hits, I was still able to make that with a decent amount. 58. Okay, so now I know there are bombs, which makes sense. There are bombs in Sonic 2. Can I go faster with this at all? Does that make me go faster? I have no idea. Oof. It's the lighting. It kind of messes you up with the bombs. We'll be fine, though. Oh, springs! Oh, whoa! Whoa! Woohoo! Geez, sorry. I was not expecting that much 3D. In my 3D Sonic game. I guess it's like the first time where it's like 3D and like, whoa, where are we going with Sonic? That we'd get used to in like actual new 3D Sonic games. Oh, geez. This is really cool. I like this a lot. Damn, at least we made it without any real problem. That was great. Give me my emerald. It's gonna get so difficult, I bet. It's gonna really kick me in the butt, isn't it? Ooh, that's really neat. The texture work is actually pretty cool there. It's a shame he can't become Supersonic. Now, one of the guys who worked on this, he has a YouTube channel called Game Hut, I think. And he actually did a director's cut version of the Sega Genesis version of this game, where he added a bunch of stuff, including, I think, the way to get Supersonic. And he changes the controls a bit and fixes it up. It's pretty neat. I wouldn't mind checking it out on my own time, but I figured I wanted to do a more official version, obviously. Though I guess, you know, the fact that he actually worked on the actual game means it's pretty official, but, you know. Ah, loading. Gotta love those loading screens. There we go. I love how it loads the loading screen and then leaves the loading screen to load a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Ah! I'm about to say I'm dead. Because you lose all your rings when you're out of oh, loading after you die, really. Once you finish a bonus round, you lose all your rings. So very scary. Wow, that's a lot of loading for starting right basically back there. Actually, where do I start? Hopefully not the beginning. No. Oh. So I can just like kind of go in here? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Whatever. Whee! Awesome. Alright, let's find our Flickies. We'll call it a day after this level. So I said I wanted to show you a little bit of the Sega Genesis version, but I don't think we'll have time. I don't think I structured my playtime very well this time. Oh, jeez. Like, my timing is bad, because we're going to be 20 minutes at that point. That's okay. I guess I don't mind if we go over 20 minutes for one episode. I don't really care about my ring count now that we've gotten... Oh my gosh! Now that we've gotten the Cat's Emerald. Come here. Oh, the red one's like jump high. Jeez. There we go. That's why I need a shield. Yeah, it's weird. It's one of those games where it's like, it's a Sonic game, but you really don't want to go too fast. Which obviously is dumb in a Sonic game, but whatever. Don't want to forget anyone. Nope. Just, I guess this is most of the time there's not going to be any enemies in the secret areas. That's where Tails is. Yes, hello Tails. I don't want to go to a bonus level, so I'm just going to ignore you. I don't really need a lot of rings. There we go. Alright. Let's find some baddies. Or badniks, is what they used to be called. Do you remember that? When enemies used to be called badniks in the Sonic game? Ugh, I'm old now, man. You always jump on these, you never know when there's a life. Ah, I need one more, I bet. Come here. Thank you. There we go. I'll set you now. I missed one, didn't I? Damn. The hunting things down, too, is definitely a thing that some people really don't like, and you kind of can't even blame them. You don't always want, you know, exploration in video games. Sonic games are one of those where, like, do I really want to explore it? I'm playing a Sonic game. I want to look around. I want to run really fast and go crazy. Oof, where's my missing guy? There you are. Thank you. Come to me, Flicky. The levels aren't themselves very, very big, though, thankfully, so it's not too difficult to, you know, get to where you need to go. And they start becoming a little bit more linear because they're more about gimmicks and that sort of thing. And definitely get you right here. Poink. Oh, how did that not? There we go. Always want my shields. You really gotta explore an area before you kind of move on, which makes sense. I do like how they use the whole badniks have like creatures in them, because that was definitely a thing early on in the Sonic games, in the 2D Sonic games, where it's like you beat an enemy, like a rabbit or a penguin pops out. So, you know, it does make sense. Ooh, there we go. We found them all right fast there. Alright, well, perfect. That is it for today. Let's do a little bit of footage on Sonic for Genesis. That way you can just see the difference, basically. Because I really like seeing changes in video games when they get ported and that sort of thing. Because they were very distinct back then. But anyways, let's check out the Genesis version right quick. Alright, this is the Genesis version. And I will say the Sega logo there looks great. That was so good. But this opening, it's rough. I mean, back then it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because it's like sort of full motion video. But like the resolution is really bad and the colors are nasty. But I was fairly impressed at 11 years old. So good on them for that. I mean, I don't know why they didn't make a Sega CD or a 32X game, but it doesn't matter. Let's jump in there real quick. There is a story, which is not present in the Saturn version, which is weird. We are going to skip it because I'm just kind of showing you kind of what the game looked like. So it looks pretty good. I mean, definitely not as good as the original, or the Saturn version, but like for the Genesis, this looks great. It's smooth. Like this runs really well, as you can see. So that's pretty neat. I like that a lot. Very, very, very cool. But yeah, no, this is one I played quite a bit growing up. I really, really enjoyed it. Alright, Tails should be over here. There we go. So this is the only other real major difference, is that the the funky little bonus rounds. I actually really like these. It looks really neat. But it's definitely not as cool or impressive as the one from the Saturn version. But it's pretty easy, as you can see. Anyways, with that, guys, we are playing Sonic 3D Blast. We will be doing the Saturn version for the rest of this Let's Play. We will not be coming back to this one. I just thought it was fun to kind of look back. But with that, I'm Phil in the Blanks. And I'll see you guys next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.